Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Lorelei Shamayo. This is MeWe Metaphysical and Wellness Fairs for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have events throughout the Northwest. We're in Seattle, Portland, Salem, and Eugene, and we also offer events online. We've been offering them online for about a year and a half, and we've been offering a lot more online lately. We interview our practitioners and our vendors so you get a chance to know who we are before you meet us at an event. I'm here today interviewing Ray Couture. Ray, it's lovely to have you.
Hi, nice to be here.
So what is it that you do? What do you offer at our events?
Well, basically, I am an astrologer with a whole bunch of years of experience. We don't have to go into how many. I look at a person's astrological configuration for about 10 or 15 minutes and give them a basic overview of what it is and what it calls for. And that's as far as you can usually go in 15 minutes. So what I offer them is an opportunity to take that further if they like. And if not, then I just try to give them some uplifting, positive information about what their chart is actually asking them to do with their life, which very often is quite different than what they think.
Yeah. But say a little bit more about in the 15 minutes, right? So you look at everything and then what is it that you share? What is it that they glean from that?
Well, first of all, looking at the chart in the first few minutes, what I try to do is differentiate between what goes on with this person in terms of their subjective reality and how that subjective reality or the so-called self gets into involvements such as relationships, business operations, travel, dealing with karmic debris left over from parental issues, and so forth and so on. And I try to cover that as quickly but as effectively as I can, leaving them with an answer of why they were born, without necessarily indicating what they have to do in order to fulfill that particular reason for their birth.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I see. And so if someone wants to go deeper with them, maybe say a little more about all the different things that you can do with them.
Well, I mean, if they're interested in dealing with their financial situation, I have to take them through a lot of their own psychology in order to be able to connect them with why their finances are the way that they are. Most people look at that kind of stuff as an external thing that is caused by the economy, that is caused by the politics, caused by this and that. And generally, that's really true, but not the answer to why they're having their particular problems, because they tend to look outward instead of inward. So I try to take people into the way that they are constructed and give them a good look at how they actually think. It kind of blows their mind when I say their thoughts for them. But I try not to be a mind blower as much as a person who can help people move beyond the whole American thing of the big individual and have them see that they're part of something much larger than that. Of course, I have to take it one step at a time. I can't bring them into cosmic consciousness by looking at them and saying, hey, your birthday is such and so, and therefore this and that. No, I have to really connect with who the person is, and that's available to me in the astrological chart.
Yeah, because part of it, right, is understanding who they are to see what's the way in to address the things that are there.
Yeah, that's right, because most of what we pay attention to is the result of what we're not paying attention to. The unconscious. I mean, Jung in his works comes up with the whole concept of the shadow, which is all the unmanifest, unfulfilled potential that exists within any and each and all of us. And an astrological chart can actually show you just basically how much of all of that is connected to all of the issues and problems that they're facing. So that goes all the way into who is my soulmate and when will I find my soulmate and all of these kinds of things based upon the idea of giving your power away to some other person who's going to fulfill you because you're under the illusion that you're half a person and you're going to meet your better half at some point. It's a little rough to try to deal with that in 15 minutes, but I've done it. And I think it's very effective.
Yeah, because part of it, right, is understanding who they are to see what's the way in to address the things that are there.
Yeah. it generally works all right.
Yeah. Well, I love what you're doing too, and that you're helping people see not how to blame themselves, but how to see how they're empowered and how they can make changes so that whatever the context is on the outside, they can find an easier way through to fulfill their purpose.
Yeah, it's really, really showing a person and in a way that shows them where they are in the culture, and then asking them to understand how it will become necessary at some point for them to become objective to the culture so that they can rise above it, create their own individuated self, which can then, under some circumstances, and this goes to not just the 15-minute overview, but the idea of like, if you really want a session with me, take this information and go to town with it and begin understanding the need for a transpersonal view of life so that you can see yourself as humanity for the next larger step. I can't really take people and say, well, you're a member of the galactic community. There are plenty of people out there trying to do that. I haven't found that to be the most efficient way of connecting with somebody in the everyday world that they have to work in.
Oh, it's great. It's great. How did you get started doing astrology?
Uh, After 10 years in the military, I ended up in Berkeley, California, and there was this um, guy who was telling me more about me than he had the right to know. I asked him how he did that. He said, astrology. I said, look, give me a break. I mean, I spent 10 years with the government telling me how to brush my teeth, what time to get up, who to talk to, who not. And you're telling me the balls of gas and rocks in the sky are telling me what to do with my life. Get a life, I told him. So eventually, I began to realize, wait a minute, there's something to this. So tell me what books to read and so forth. And he ended up introducing me to Dane Rudhyar, of all people, and Mark Edmund Jones and those kind of people. So I ended up getting involved in doing all of that in terms of being a radio personality in Berkeley, California for some nearly 40 years, right? But all along, what I was trying to do was debunk it, prove it wasn't right. And the more I did that, the more I discovered how accurate, meaningful, and useful and spiritual, and what a guide, what a friend, what a need is fulfilled when you really understand what the connection between you and the sky really, really is.
I'm really touched hearing your journey.
Well, it was quite a transformation, believe me. I went through phase after phase after phase, throwing books against the wall, saying this is all sexist BS, and because they were written, some of the stuff that Roger wrote was back in 1940, and some of the people were, yeah, he is he, and never a she. So I noticed in Roger's later writing, he does say he or she. He was using the generic mankind.
Mm-hmm.
I say, how about humanity?
We all grow. Yeah, we all grow through those lessons. It's great. Well, hopefully we all do. Yeah. Well, if people...
I would just say gender here in this situation spiritually is inappropriate.
Well, if people want to learn more about you online, where do they go?
Well, online, they can go to YouTube under my name, Ray Couture. They can go to my website, which is, the www, astrologicalperspectives.net, not com, not anything but .net. And I'm really guilty of not posting on it as much as I should, because I'm busy doing most of my work online through Zoom or putting posts up on Instagram and YouTube and so forth and so on. So the website has become sort of like a telephone book page. It used to go to the thing that was, and there you are. That's your statement. That's you. And yeah, but to connect with people, you really have to go to things that are actually happening in the moment. And to be really clear and connected. So that's the easiest way. YouTube and www.astrologicalperspectives.net.
That's great. And I want to say for people how they can find you on Facebook with the spelling of your name. So it's RayCouture. And then also when they come to an event, they should bring their birth time to the minute, if they have that, date, and the place, right?
Date, time, and place, right. Now, the idea of trying to find me on Facebook, though, you're going to have to look up, it's Joseph Ramon Laurier Couture.
All right, then.
Joseph Ramon.
Where's the place where they can find you with the Ray Couture?
Yeah, it's Joseph Ramon, Ramon.
Okay.
R-A-Y. I don't know. I hardly ever use it.
That's great.
I wouldn't worry.
Okay, all right. So they'll go to your website and they'll find you at our events. And if it's great to talk with you, Ray. And for all of you that are listening or watching, you can connect more with Ray, see this video, and see all about our events at MeWeFairs.com. That's MEWEFAIRS.com. Thanks so much. Thanks, Ray.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to being part of the group.